Hello, guys. We are cutting some beans tonight. They are doing very well. I haven't had a chance to upload many videos lately because I don't have internet right now. So, still working on getting the house swapped over from getting struck by lightning. So I don't have internet at the house, so I haven't really been uploading due to not having internet. Ran over to my parents the other day and stole some of their internet to get a video uploaded, but I haven't really uploaded much harvest stuff. But I'm about let's think here. Once I finish what I got here, I'll have about 250 acres of beans cut. And I've got another roughly 175 acres that should be ready this week, depending on how much rain we end up getting. Um, so I don't know if you guys can hear me very well. Hopefully you can. But I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. But anyhow, I've got, I don't know, a couple hundred acres cut and a couple hundred more acres ready to go, and then a couple hundred more acres that are still completely green, just now starting to turn. So the beans, though, are doing very well. My instant yield right now is 80, 79, 76, but my average in this field is 75, so they're doing very well. The bottom side of this field is making over 100 bushel right now. There's a few hillsides back off in the 60s, but these beans are doing very well. Um, I have not planted any wheat yet. These beans are very clean. How full am I? Right there's my hopper camera. So, I don't know, a little over half. Might make another round. But, yeah, they're doing good. The beans are really clean. There's not a weed out there. These enlist soybeans, I've been really happy with my weed control program on these enlist beans this year. And it's been easy to get. I know some Liberty and things like that have been difficult to get and very expensive in short supply, whereas the enlist program really not that difficult to get. And it's, at least this year, was relatively cheap. Now, with high grain prices, I'm sure everything will get jacked up. It's just part of it. But these beans are doing very well. The reclaimed beans that I cut, they ended up averaging 52 bushels, but for that type of ground, that was very good. But especially because we got very hot and very dry right when they were trying to fill out the pods there at the end. They looked really good all year, and then in the last quarter of the game, we basically got really hot, really dry, and it screwed them. But this ground holds water a little bit better, and they're making a lot better beans. So I farm right now. I normally don't answer that question, but what the hell, why not? I farm just under 1,200 acres right now. So for me, myself, and I don't know if you can see those lights there, but that's actually the Steiger running over there, pulling an inline ripper right now. He's ripping bean ground behind me. Buddy of mine's running that right now. But I tell you what, these beans are doing so good, I don't know that I am going to make another round. Not quite a full hopper, but I'm not quite going to make it another round. I do love the new Draper. The new Draper is pretty awesome. It feeds really good. Like, these are some green beans right here, and it won't even pull the combine down, which I'm not driving super fast right now just because I'm doing the live stream thing and all that. But yeah, the Draper is nice. It is definitely all it was cracked up to be. I have had some issues with it coming unlatched from the combine. Actually, yesterday, a little bit of a spoiler because I've got I've got probably an hour and a half of footage recorded right now. I just haven't had time to upload it. That's why I'm doing a live stream. Um, those of you that just joined, the house, my house got struck by lightning, and the house I moved to does not have internet hooked up yet. So I don't have a way to upload videos right now. Well, I do, but it takes like a day and a half for them to upload using a hotspot. So um, it's slow, but it works. So that's why I haven't had a lot uploaded. But yeah, the Draper is it's awesome. Um, it cuts really good. It feeds really good. I'm really happy with it. The beans are doing 75 bushel average in this field at 11.5%. So they are definitely dry. Um, try and read some more comments here. Maybe. Maybe with, I don't know. I can't pull them up for some reason. Okay. Am I going to add an aerial? I would like to have one, but I don't know. Yeah, it might be something down the road. I need to see how much it weighs. This Draper does make the back end of this combine a little bit light. It's not terrible, but if you went and added more weight onto it, I definitely probably want to put weight on the back end of the combine to counterbalance it. But it's not bad. But yeah, I would be interested in an aerial. Get the truck nice and full here. But I don't know if you can tell, but those beans are extremely clean. Not to toot my own horn, but this combine's set very good right now. But it helps that they're dry beans too. That helps. That's all for that hopper. Hello from Australia. I didn't put any weights on it yet. Um, I might. I don't know. It's really, as long as you don't jerk the stick back, it's really not that bad. It's just a 30-foot Draper, so it's not terrible as far as weight goes. I really haven't had any issues until I go to back up like a steep hill or something like that. The back end likes to come up off the ground. You just kind of got to be careful. But it's, yeah, it's not too bad. I have not started any corn yet. I thought about it today. I actually tested some today that was about, it hand tested 22, so I would say it would average about 24. But I've got a couple hundred acres of beans that are still dry and ready, so I'm just going to stay in the beans for now, cut them, and get it while the getting's good in the beans before they get so dry that they're wanting to pop out. So I'm staying in beans for now. So I did down just a little bit. But I'm going to stay in beans for now, and by the time I get these next, I don't know, 200 acres or so of beans cut, should have some corn that is ready to roll. I do not have fluid in the rear tires, and the little boy, he is doing good. He's doing real good. He's a little fussy. He has his moments. He's got his good days and his bad, but he's doing pretty good. So he rode in the combine the other night with my wife. My wife was actually running the grain cart, and so she rode around in the combine with him strapped to the baby carrier, and he got a view of this. So it put him right to sleep. He didn't seem super interested, but he was pretty tired, so he went right to sleep. Bob, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. The Draper is definitely feeds better than the auger heads. There's pros and cons to it. I would say the pros definitely outweigh the cons. I would not want to go back to an auger head now that I've got a Draper, which is what everybody told me would happen, and they were right. But it feeds very, very good. It um, it feeds good. It cuts good. I don't think it flexes quite as much as the auger did, but it still has plenty to it. You gotta have that in mind. I mean, it's got its limitations like anything does, but it is a little bit heavier. It is a little more complex than an auger hip was. There's a lot more going on down in here, but um, yeah, I like the Draper a lot. Are the beans any good? Well, right here, our field average jumped up to 76. Our instant is 81. So if the beans are any indication of what the corn's going to make, uh, I've got corn like a quarter mile. Well, actually, I got corn on the other side of those trees. Um, I, I can't wait to shell some corn. I'm chomping at the bit. I dang near shelled some corn today. The Draper head I had an issue with, and rather than fixing it, I really wanted to put the corn head on and roll, but it's just that hair on the wet side still. Um, so I'm gonna try and get by without running the dryer. And just let it dry since I've got dry beans. I'll just cut beans and then jump straight into corn and not have to dry anything other than just using fans. So, could a 28 or a 2188 run this head? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a 2388. They're the same combine. 2388. I don't know if there's any difference in like the feeder house drive. I will say this combine is a 12 row ready machine. It's got the heavy duty drives on the feeder house. The belt's a little heavier duty. I've actually got the third lift cylinder for it. It's not on it right now. I thought I might have to put that on it to pick up the Draper, but with two cylinders, I haven't had any issues. But I had a neighbor that had the third cylinder kit. He gave that to me. And it has the bracket on the back end to hang weights on it, but I don't have any weights on it. The Draper is a 30-foot. Yeah, there's guys shelling corn around here. I'm hearing anywhere from 28 to 30%, all the way down to like 20, 21. So it's a little bit all over the place. But nobody's complained about yields so far around here on corn. Everybody's been pretty happy, I think. So uh, hopefully, uh, hopefully the corn does do really well. The audio may not be clear. I think I have my pinky over the microphone. That's my bad. I'm just recording this on my phone right now. So hopefully it's a little more clear here. I have not got a dump trailer yet. I need to, but since I've been cutting beans, I've been pretty much by myself. Um, only using one truck anyhow. I actually have been using the freight liner that I bought on the hopper bottom, and I unhooked it today and took it to town to have decals put on the doors, to have the old decals taken off and put new decals on. So I don't know. I got the Volvo back on the hopper bottom, and I'm hoping to find a dump trailer or go pick one up. I've got my eye on several of them, but I'm hoping to go pick one up probably this week and get on the freight liner before I jump into any corn. It would be nice to have two trailers, but the first corn I shell is going to be right around the farm, and basically I'm just going to park the hopper bottom over the swing-away auger and just have somebody run the grain cart, jump straight into the truck, and just leave the swing-away auger running, like idle down, and just jump on the truck, and just basically be trickling corn in the grain bins all day long. So really won't have a use for a truck or a second truck when we're close to the farm, but once we fill the bins at the farm, which we will, um, I doubt that with the corn I've got around the farm, I doubt that I can need a whole half of it there at the bins of the farm, which is a good problem to have. That corn looks really good. It should be 200 plus bushel corn. Yeah, that's kind of my game plan. I'm gonna stay in beans until it rains or until I run out of dry beans to run. But these are 11.5%, so I'm running them. Uh, Making 76 average right now. Got 23 acres done on this field, or 29 acres. But yeah, I really like this bean head. I did do some things to the corn head last night. I didn't get recorded, but I put some Yetter stock devastators on it, so I'm kind of anxious to try those out. They're supposed to basically like crimpers, the rollers underneath the corn head that knock the stalks over, kind of like a stalk stomper, but they've got like some, I don't know, flat angle iron on them on the rollers and kind of crimps the stalks. It's supposed to help them break down faster. I don't know. I mean, I'm planning on running a vertical tillage tool to chop a lot of the stalks anyhow. I don't know. The more I can get the stalks to break down, the better. Because then I do plan to just pretty much no-till all the beans straight into stalks. I guess it's not really no-till if I ran a vertical till in the fall, but I just run the vertical till in the fall and then let it sit all winter. It breaks the stalks down. I got some dirt mixed in. I just plant beans in the spring, burn it down. I am kind of one-man show. I don't know if you can see those lights right there, but that's actually the Steiger running right now with an inline ripper. A friend of mine's ripping ground behind me. So I finished that field up yesterday or 2 days ago, something like that. So he is ripping ground. It's all that tractor wants. So it's it's fun to pull it though. 70 shank ripper with a tractor and a straight pipe. It makes some noises. There's some videos. I recorded some stuff yesterday. I was actually running that ripper a little bit yesterday. So I recorded some, so there'll be some video of that. But it definitely honks. William, thanks for the donation. I appreciate it. That'll that'll go towards the YouTube fund for better camera equipment and editing software, and potentially a new computer. I'm not quite sure if mine got fried yet from the lightning or not. So that's been between getting moved from house to house since the lightning struck ours and getting harvest going and having a newborn. It's been pretty busy around here, so I do apologize for the lack thereof videos lately. I'm trying to get some out. I figured I'd do a live stream tonight. These are making good beans right here. They were right. Yeah, there we go. There's 90 bushel. We've been hitting triple digits here in places in this field. Not consistent enough, but my average is still 76, and I can't complain about that. 76 bushel beans for this type of ground. I'm happy with that. Real happy with that. We are not going to fix that house up. That house is in rough shape to start with. Um, it's starting to get some foundation issues. Actually, if you went in the basement and looked up, instead of trusses holding the house up, there was logs. And a lot of those logs they'd had termites in them years and years ago, so they were getting really brittle. And they just that house, it was going to be somewhere around 15 grand by the time it was rewired and tearing the walls out and replacing them. So rather than doing that, um, I think we're just going to cut our losses. And we moved only about a quarter mile up the road on some ground I bought. But it's only like a quarter mile up the road, and yeah, I literally can see the entire farm from where I'm at. It's a smaller house than what we were in, but it's in a lot better shape. So we'll either add on to it or build a new house down the road. But with lumber costing what it costs and raw material costing what it costs right now, I would say that we will not be building anytime right away. But I don't know. We've only got, we just got the baby right now. It's just three of us, so the house we're in, it works for now. When we start having more kids, we're definitely going to need some more space. I would like to have an AWS system. That would be an aerial system. I would like to have one. If I do put one on this Draper, though, I'll definitely need to probably put some weight on the back end of the combine to balance that out. Yeah, these beans are doing very good. Still hanging in the 80s here, so happy with that. I am anxious to show some corn, though. I'm looking forward to that. We've about got an offer again. I'd say by the time we get back, we'll be ready to dump. And here we're in 91, 92 bushel beans, 95, 94. They're doing good. They're doing really good. I can't complain. All the ethanol plants contain lithium. I would love to have another corn plant around here just to drive demand up, but we've already got a pretty good corn market. But I think our basis, I haven't checked the basis in 3 days. I don't know that there's much premium going on now since a lot of guys have started. I know there was, but I don't know if there still is. Drop down. Then you get these little hillsides. These are some short beans here. These are like 40, 50 bushel beans. But there's a few spots like this. It's just kills the average, but I still can't complain. The field as a whole is doing very well. Well, I'm glad you like to see the progression. I had a memory pop up on my Facebook page the other day. 4 years ago, running a Case 1370, pulling a 400 bushel gravity wagon and a New Holland TR88 uh, with a 20-foot auger head cutting beans. At the time, I think myself, I was only farming like 50 acres. And then I was helping an older gentleman farm. He had about 320 roughly that he row cropped, and then he had some cattle too. And looking at the size of the operation now and the acres I farm now compared to then, in just 4 years, if you told me I would be here 4 years ago, I wouldn't believe it. Things have worked out. Um, I've definitely had help along the way to get me where I'm at. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of the cards have just kind of fallen right, and opportunities have come along that have allowed me to do what I'm doing. So, it's worked out good. I did not get my head to stay on better. Basically, I took a 3/4 inch Milwaukee impact earlier and just tightened the hell out of the straps. And, they hadn't fallen off yet, so we're taking it nice and easy. It actually, when it came off the other day and ripped the hydraulic hoses out, I was cutting along the washout edge. I don't know. Maybe it just caught it wrong, or I don't know. But I can't seem to figure that out. My favorite job on the farm probably is to run the combine. I love to shell corn, especially when I've got somebody to run the grain cart, trucks moving, and you don't have to stop. That's fun. It's fun to shell really good corn, especially when you got multiple people in one field. It's entertaining. But, stop here. I think I just saw something outside the cab. Not sure what it was. Maybe I'm just seeing things. I don't know. Maybe it's a shadow. What is that? I do not know. Huh. Combine's not making any noises, and the beans are still rolling in, so we're not going to worry about it. Just a little piece of can or something. I don't know. It's black. It didn't come off the bean head, it doesn't look like. Maybe don't. I don't know. I'll look at that in the daylight, I guess. I do not have Autosteer. I could put Autosteer in here. I actually have a system sitting in the shop that would work. But honestly, the only time I would use it is in beans, and a lot of my fields are so irregularly shaped. This is kind of the exception here. This field here is fairly square. It's got some weird stuff going on in part of it, but this field's 118 acres. So I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to have Autosteer here, but just don't. I don't know. It's not really worth messing with. It's not too hard to hold on the steering wheel. When will the next video come out? Hopefully this week. I've actually got people coming to the new house tomorrow to hopefully get some internet lined back out. That's been my drawback. I've got a couple videos edited and ready to go. I just don't have a way to upload them. So I don't know. Maybe I'll go to town, like McDonald's or coffee shop or something. And yeah, I think it's drug up some stuff over here. But maybe go somewhere with some Wi-Fi if I get some time on a rainy day or something, and maybe be able to get some more upload. This field does have terraces. I bet there's 20 terraces in this field. I'm on the flat end of the field right now, so I'm not seeing it. But there is a lot of terraces and the reclaimed pole ground. So that's all it is. Terraces. You didn't from the terraces, you wouldn't from the ground, basically. But 85 bushel beans right now. Another full hopper. We'll cut two more full hoppers. That should fill the truck. Probably call it a night once we fill the truck tonight. I don't know. I'm kind of curious as to what that was laying in the field back there. It didn't look like it came off the combine or the head. It looked like it was something that was already there. And enjoy watching your videos from the UK. I enjoy watching videos from the UK. It's a whole different style of farming. I really enjoy a few channels. Um, Post some stuff from that neck of the woods. Really interesting to watch. Actually, this is my third hopper tonight, so I'm gonna cut one more hopper. I would cut another one to keep on the combine overnight, but there's a small chance of rain tonight, so I don't want to risk it. Would a gleaner N7 be a good? Yeah, I mean, everybody harps on gleaners, including myself. I've called them silver cedars, sheds, you name it, galvanized peasant feeders. I've called them everything, but yeah, they're not bad combines. A friend of mine had an R62, I think it was. I ran it a little bit, here and there, just more or less playing around with it. But I shelved some corn with it. And, I mean, it wasn't a bad machine. I didn't think at all. Um, I don't know. An N7's a little bit old, so I would make sure that you could still get parts for them. Because I don't care if it's a brand new machine. best machine in the world. They all break down, so a machine's only as good as the service and the parts you can get for it. Because nobody wants to be sitting still for 2.5 weeks waiting on parts. So, well, thanks for watching. How many acres do I have combined so far? Did a 120 acre farm, about 40 out of 50 acres on another farm. That'd be 160. And I've got 31 acres on this farm. The reason I didn't do the entire farm on the other one is because I got into a few wet beans. And I left, I don't know, I left less than 10 acres. This farm's going to be the same way. There's a few, actually I switched to bean varieties while I was planting this field. Some of them are still extremely green. So I won't actually be cutting this entire 118 acre field. There's only, I don't know, maybe 40 acres out here left that are dry enough to cut. So that's why I'm not getting in any. I say I'm not getting any big hurry, but here I am cutting beans every morning too. So I don't know. R67 gleaner, yeah. They, I do enjoy the gleaner combines. Now they're all a little foreign to me as far as setting them. They're entirely different to set. I wouldn't say entirely different, but they're way different to set than any other rotary machine. They got a lot of differences in them. You really got to watch rotor loss with them, but when you have them set right, you don't. It's just a matter of getting them set right. That's with any combine. If the machine is not worn out and you set it right, you shouldn't have too much loss given your crop conditions. Better than less than ideal, I should say. Trying to figure out where I'm at here. Get back to cutting. Well, hello from Australia, or hello to Australia. I do really like the Draper head. Feeds really well, cuts pretty well. A little more complicated than an auger head, but it's alright. A little more heavy than an auger head too, but combine seems to handle it just fine. Here, when we're here, getting a little high, but it floats good. Got it all. I tinkered with the springs. Basically, it's the right height of the head. Tinkered with them a little bit. Got it running where I want it now. Midwest Indiana, slow down. You're right. I still, yeah. I mean, I've got, I don't know, roughly 200, somewhere around 200 acres of beans got, but I got several more 100 acres of beans to go, and I haven't even started on corn, so I still got plenty to do. It was kind of slow going getting started. I was actually filling some early contracts I made. I had a pretty good premium for some early beans, so I was actually hauling them all to the river. So I would just cut a load and then jump in the semi and haul them down to the river. And it's an hour down and it's an hour back. Thankfully, there wasn't really any lines, but I mean, if you cut 2 loads a day, you got 4 hours of drive time, so you really don't have much combine time at that point. So I wasn't getting a whole lot of acres in a day doing that, but now that I'm putting them in a grain bin here close to the farm, I'm definitely covering some more acres in a day. How worn out are the belts on the Draper? The center belt's brand new, and some side belts, they're not terrible, but they'll need replaced in the next year or two, I would say. Am I going to add any cameras to my combine? I've got the hopper camera here. I've got 2 cameras on it. I just keep the hopper camera on. If I go here, hard to see. I've got one on the auger as well. Like the auger's folded back right now, and when it's daylight, you can see a lot better. Right now, all you can see is a cloud of dust. But it's nice when you're dumping. You can see down in the cart and stuff, you can see down in the truck or whatever. But it's nice when you're going down the road too, because you can see if somebody's right up on you, driving past or whatever. It's kind of nice. So really, the two cameras I've got on here, they do everything I need them to do. But when I'm cutting, I pretty much just keep it on the hopper camera. I really don't look at the other camera all that often. The temporary house, thought I saw a comment. Temporary house is good. Hello from Newberry, or hello. I actually, I know some people that got started in Newberry today. They run red machines. You might know who I'm talking about. The next combine in my future, I have no idea. I like this combine. I'm going to run it for a while. It's got plenty of capacity to run the acres I'm running right now. I mean, we're pushing a 30-foot head right now. Granted, I'm not driving super fast, but we're also making 86 bushel beans after dark. They are cutting a little bit tough, so I'm not setting any speed records right now. But yeah, doing good. The beans are a little bit tough, but you can kind of get by with that with a Draper. What you do have to watch is that you're not throwing them out the back. When they start getting real tough, it is more difficult for the combine to get them threshed and clean. So I do slow down a little bit. During the day, I've been running anywhere from 3.5 to 4.5 mile an hour. I'm only running 2.5 right now, mainly because I'm recording, but partly because it's after dark. But I'm holding my phone in one hand recording and driving with the other, so I don't want to jack anything up too bad. They're doing good. But I would say the next machine I do get, it will probably be a red one or a yellow one. I did have a New Holland combine. Well, I didn't have it. The guy I farmed, the guy that helped me start farming, actually had a yellow combine, and I really, really liked it. But it got to the point we were outgrowing it, so I bought this one. But I like the red combines. I like the yellow combines. The yellow combine, I could get a stupid clean sample out of it, especially in soybeans. Not that the sample out of this one's bad, but I feel like I could get a better sample out of the yellow combine with the twin rotor. I don't know. What we're going to do here, I'm not proud of. You're going to see me do it anyways. Some green stem beans. I ran out of end rows here. These beans are still pretty green, but they're going in a grain bin with a big fan. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. And hopefully, you guys may see me plug the combine here. I don't know. Probably shouldn't be cutting these, but I really don't want to come back for just a few green beans. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them. We're just going to go slow and hope for the best. Well, we're not pulling the machine down any. But yeah, that's good soybeans right there. These are rolling in over 100 bushel. I can be happy with that. But yeah, I ran out of end rows here, so we're gonna have to cut a few more. These are some phenomenal soybeans, making triple digits through here. Get turned around. Cutting end rows while live streaming in the dark in tough beans. Probably not one of the smarter things I've done. Hey, I can work. Path here to get turned around. I'm wondering, I don't see headlights over there anymore. I'm wondering if my buddy's holding a knife pulling the ripper or not. He was pulling the inline ripper over in a field about a quarter mile, half a mile south of me. I cut a couple days ago. I ran that ripper yesterday a little bit. Got some footage of that, so I'll be uploading a video of that. Definitely makes some tractor talk, but it is fun to pull it. Get turned around here. Yeah, Petersburg. I know a couple people running in Petersburg. Been talking to. I know of one guy that's selling corn. Sam Stone, Samuel Stone. I don't know if you know him or not. I went to college with him. I know they got started. I think today or yesterday. I don't know. But 8230 case. Yeah, that would be plenty of machine for me. Have to go to an acre head then. That's all right. Problem is, if I go to an 8-row head, then I want a bigger grain cart. When I get a bigger grain cart, then I want more semis. Then I want a bigger grain system to keep up. It's like when you buy one, you got to buy it all. So this machine I've got now for the acres I'm farming and for the way I'm set up, it's doing just fine. It's flexing here. I don't know if you guys can tell it, but we're in a little bit of a valley. So who knows? Maybe it'll fall off. I don't know. Did that the other day. There'll be a video of that. Oh, 1460. Those are solid machines. As long as you can keep getting parts for it, keep that thing until it dies. Because an older machine like that is all mechanical and you can work on it yourself. 9 times out of 10, you don't need a dealer to come out. You don't need a tech to come out. Basically, belts, chains, pulleys. Really not much electrical components to go wrong on it. This combine is kind of a happy medium. It's got some of the creature comforts. I like the cab in it. Um, it's not like the brand new combine cabs. They're a lot nicer, of course, but still can't complain about the cab in this one. But this combine's mostly mechanical still too. I mean, yeah, there's some electrical stuff, but it's pretty simple still. I'm still learning on this machine. On the old New Holland combine, I knew that machine better than I know this one. There's still a couple things that I call a tech. It's one of those things you call them and you make sure that you're there when they do it. And you don't get in their way. You just sit back and watch. That way, the next time you have the same issue, you know how to fix it yourself. You don't have to call somebody to do it. So I'm still learning. I'm not a mechanic by any means. I know enough to get me in trouble, basically. But these are pretty easy machines to work on, as is these are enlist soybeans. They are doing very well. Making 88 right here, 76 is the average at 11.3. I think the moisture right now. I'm surprised that's not jumped up yet. I'm sure they're going to be cutting tough any time. Well, they're already cutting a little bit tough, I think, but they're cutting good. So we're going to keep rolling. I haven't slowed the combine up yet. How far am I from Portland, Indiana? I'm honestly not sure. Not entirely sure where Portland is at. It's got a 2366. Oh, they're solid machines. I mean, all these older case combines, they're from the 14 series to the 2588s and the 2577s. I mean, I'm not saying there's not differences in them. There is, but mechanically, they're essentially the same machine inside. So those bright lights up there, I assume that's the Steiger pulling the Ripper. At least I hope it is. Otherwise, somebody's in my field up there with a really bright lights on the tractor. But I definitely have that Steiger well lit up. These are very good beans. I do not have any seed consultant. These are all of my soybeans this year, with the exception of about 20 or 30 acres, are all Pioneer beans this year. So I've been very, very happy with them. Um, and a lot of the reason I plant them too, or part of the reason I plant them, is the guy I deal with, he's awesome to deal with. And he hasn't given me a reason to go with anybody else, nor have these yields given me a reason to go with anybody else. And you can look all you want, but there's really not a weed out in this field. So they're clean. They're really clean. So I really don't have a reason to switch. I'm happy with where I'm at right now. Do I plow all my bean ground? I no-till the soybeans in out somewhat. So I like to put my soybeans into what was previously corn. Um, but um, typically, I run a vertical tillage tool over all my corn stalks, just to get them chopped and start to break down. Um, and then I just no-till beans, I guess if you want to call it that, in the spring. I don't touch it. I just go and plant them after I have it burnt down, or after I run the sprayer over it, burn it down. Um, but I am planning to run an inline ripper over several acres that are beans this year that are going into corn next year. I do plan on running an inline ripper on it, which technically some people call them no-till rippers. I don't know that there is such a thing, but they're a minimal tillage ripper, an inline ripper. It's not like a disc ripper where it's turning the ground completely over. It's basically just going down and shattering the hard pan and the middle of it, at least. Stein and list for 29 units. Wow, that is cheap. Mine are running more than that, but I'm running fungicide, insecticide, and inoculant on all of them as well. I used to do the whole Vex thing when I started farming. Um, I think they have an excellent marketing program and a mediocre product. When I was when I was planting it, I don't know, I was planting it side by side some other stuff, and it seemed like it always just lagged behind a little bit. Maybe it doesn't, maybe it does, I don't know. But I just their whole rewards program, it sounds good at first, but when you start actually running the numbers on it, there's more to it. I would rather somebody just save me the money on the seed up front rather than give me my money back in a rewards program. But about every seed company does that now. Not necessarily a rewards program, but they have rebates and all that. Where, hey, if you plant X amount of acres, you get this much money back at the end of the year, or you can put it towards chemical or whatever. Me, I'd rather just save the money up front and not have the rebates and essentially just keep my cash to put my cash where I want to put my cash, not where they want me to put my cash. Looking like these are starting to get a little tough. Noticing that the stubble out there is looking a little more fluffy. It's going through the combine. But yeah, I don't have anything against Stein. I mean, honestly, if you really want to get get down into the nitty gritty of enlist soybeans, they all came from Stein and Mershman. Um, whether they're from Pioneer or anybody else, that's essentially that's where they came from. Uh, Stein and Mershman. That's where enlist beans came from. So uh, when you start getting into seed traits, you don't realize how many companies. It's funny kind of watching people argue about who's got the best seed because a lot of companies have the same exact seed in different bags with different brands basically slapped on the bag. Now, we're getting far enough into enlist soybeans, but there are some differences. You know, when these companies like Pioneer start doing their own breeding, but initially, all enlist beans came from Stein and Marshall. I like the comment about the cooler. Kind of my attitude. Although my Polaris side by side, it didn't come from Bex, but I did buy it off a farmer that got it from Bex, so it's got the Bex logos plastered all over it. I always catch a lot of shit from my Pioneer guy that I've got a Polaris with Bex logos on it. I haven't planted Bex in 3 years, but my Polaris has stickers all over it. But I didn't get it from Bex. I got it from the farmer that got it from Bex. I have an account on FBN, and that's where I compare a lot of varieties, a lot of corn hybrids. Uh, you can see what they're also backed as in other companies, kind of compare some prices. I do not buy any chemical. I've never bought anything actually from Farmers Business Network. I just use them from a transparency standpoint, kind of seeing if I'm getting ripped off or not. But the guy I get all my chemical from, um, I don't. I quit going through a co-op. I started going through an independent guy, and he has saved me a boatload of money. And he's right down the road. His service is great. I could call him up right now, and in the wee hours of the night, he will still show up and get me what I need. So he's awesome to deal with. Um, his prices are always on the lower end of the spectrum. I'm not going to say he's the lowest every time, but as, a, as they all average out, he's definitely always cheaper averaged out over the year than I can get from any retailer around here. And his service is great, so I don't have a reason to go anywhere else right now. And I like the guy, so they're they're awesome. They've got an awesome operation, him and his brother, and they've got a few hired guys they brought on now too. So I have not had any complaints with them. I've had nothing but good experiences. The land rent in southern Indiana these days is about like the land rent anywhere. It's rented as soon as somebody goes in the ground. It's cutthroat. Um, Everybody's friendly till ground comes up for rent. Seems like I don't like it, but it is what it is. That's the nature of the game. Um, Unfortunately, you always want to help out your neighbors, and I do. The neighbors that help me, I'm more than happy to help them. And I've got neighbors that I know won't go after ground that I've got, so I won't go after ground that they've got. But there's also other people around here that I don't care for, and I won't bat an eye to go up against them. You know, at the end of the day, farming is a business, and business is business. And if I had the mentality of tiptoeing around everybody and never trying to hurt somebody's feelings, I'd never rent another acre of ground. I don't like that, but that's part of farming. But at the same time, I'm not gonna go knocking on doors to try and rent ground. Um, Basically, the grounds that I rent, somebody's either approached me or it's been an open bid. So can't say that I've really knocked on too many doors over ground, unless, and this has happened a few times, but I've had people approach me about, hey, we're not going to farm this farm anymore. We're just letting them know ahead of time. I've had a couple farmers that are kind of downsizing give me a heads up that they were getting rid of a farm, and that definitely helps to have that inside scoop. I just noticed my camera's covered, so we may make it back and we may not. We may have beans going over the hopper any time. I don't know. But this should be enough. Definitely will be enough to fill the truck. Well, I appreciate you appreciating the time put into these videos. They do take time. I would much rather do these live streams than have to sit down and edit videos. Because I can answer your questions live as you ask them, and I don't know, I like it. I'm seriously wondering if we're going to make it back. I've got my window covered. I don't hear beans hitting the cap yet, but it's a matter of time. These are really good soybeans through here, too. I can see the end of the field, I think, so I don't have to put Oh, absolutely. His service is worth more than being cheaper, but he's typically cheaper too, so it's a no-brainer just to stick with him. I have actually, I'm in the process of buying quite a bit of ground right now. I'm buying, I think it's 280 acres is what I'm buying right now. So yes, I am buying land. Making 81 bushel beans here. 76 is still our average. I think we're going to make it to the end of the field without running the combine over. The end is right there. And about as soon as I say that, we'll make it rain soybeans. I'm hoping they all fit on the truck. If they don't, it'll just give me a good excuse to dump the truck and come back and cut another load, I guess. We'll put our auger out here. Yeah, I'd like a 1051 cart. I just don't want to pay for one. Upgrading grain cartridges and the carts, that is going to be something that I look at doing in the next few years. So far, the reclaimed ground I really can't compare because I've never farmed it before. This is the first year I farmed it, so I can't really say whether that was good, bad, or average. But the beans that I've cut here around the farm, here at home, they're definitely above average. And from the guys I've talked to that are selling corn around here, the corn is doing very well too. So we'll get this hopper belt. It should fill the truck. And this truckload should fill the grain bin. So probably call this a night after this hopper. I need to move over closer to me, otherwise I'm going to be throwing them over the truck. I do not plan on getting a new combine anytime soon. I mean, for the right price, for the right deal, I'm always interested in trading equipment, but equipment doesn't make you money. I mean, it does to an extent, but equipment depreciates where things like land and fertilizer, I feel like you get your money back out of that a lot better than you do buying shiny new equipment. We're going to really load this truck here. Yes, that truck is definitely way, way, way overloaded right now, but we're going a quarter mile back to the farm, so we're not going to worry about it. Pretty sure we'll be just fine going a quarter mile. Yeah, I wish you could pay $280 an acre to buy ground still. Instead, ground gets rented for $280 an acre. Well, hey, I appreciate you watching the live streams. As long as you guys are interested in watching, I'll keep doing it. It's getting full here. It's getting real full. I think it is all going to fit on the truck, okay? I can't tell how much is still in the hopper, but maybe we'll cut one more round. I think we can get another round in there probably. Maybe. I'm not going to plant any wheat here close to the farm. I was planning on it. I was going to do like 50 acres. But I don't know. This ground grows really good corn down here, so I'm probably just going to put it in corn next year down here around the farm. And I am going to put wheat out on that reclaim full ground. And I don't know. I better not cut another hopper. I better not cut another round. It might fit on there, but I doubt it. So that'll be enough to fill the grain bin. So we're going to get out and actually shade down here. We'll get out, give you an outside view, I guess. Um, yes, I'm probably close. This is what I'm using. So, since I've got a pretty big head start, we'll just call it a night. Yeah, we will, and I'm sorry if the audio, don't know what to do about that. I'm live streaming. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But we got our truck full. I don't know, you guys want me to keep live streaming? You won't be able to hear very good. Since it's not far up the road, I guess I can go ahead and live stream while we dump the truck if you want. Otherwise, I can just end it here. So, I'd say your audio may have gotten better because I got out of the combine. I don't know, maybe. Maybe it was the combine. It may have actually been the Bluetooth radio. I don't know. Not sure. So, do you guys want me or just call it a night? Got my diff lock on right now. Okay, I can keep going. Now we're in the
But somebody's coming. Can't tell who it is. Looks like... Can't tell. It looks like a red machine. Yep, I know exactly who that is. This is the Armses. They're very good neighbors. Very good farmers. Very good to deal with. They run 2 case combines, near case combines. So it looks like they're moving out. There they go. So they're getting all moved in. And real quick, nobody's coming. Probably shouldn't be live streaming on the highway, but we ain't going far. They're even pulling over to let people around them. So we're trucking. The freight liner is in town getting new decals put on it. So we're going to pass this crew here. You'll actually get a view of their equipment. They pulled over. Like I said, good people. They pulled over to let everybody. I was the only one behind. There's their operation there. 9240. Half track, I think they got a half track 340 on the cart, I think. But we're not going to get going too fast since I didn't tarp the truck. So we'll get this in and go dump it. So I'm not far from the I would say the audio is breaking up just because I'm dry. I don't know. I have no idea why the audio is crappy. I'm on my phone, so it's hard telling. But we've made it to the farm. So pull in here, get the little Maxim fired up. There's the auger. This should fill this grain bin. So I need to look out. I can't tell if I need to pull up further or not. It's dark. That should work. And I want my... Okay, my backlight's already on. So we'll get fired up here. Get this truckload dumped. Here comes their combine crew coming back by. Wave to them. They go by. They're hammering down like everybody else. Everybody said they'd just ease into it, and then now everybody falls to the wall. That's how it typically goes. Get the auger under here. All right. I did shut the fan off earlier. We'll kick that back on. So my audio is really about to suck once I kick this fan on. It's going to get loud. Hopefully you can still hear me. I don't know. So, get the auger wound up and get going. Now we got to get our crank. doubt you guys can hear me now. Can't dump in here. Maybe. It's hard to do one-handed. So we're dumping. Kind of hard to see, I'd say, and it's probably harder to hear. But we got beans going in the auger, going in the bin. So, since it's a little quieter in here, I'll sit in here. But since it's a little quieter in here, I'm going to end this live stream. But it's loud and it's dark and the quality sucks at this point. But I appreciate you guys watching. I do plan on putting out a new video soon as I get internet. I have them edited. I just don't have a way to upload them. So as soon as I get time and I get internet, there'll be some more videos out. Cutting soybeans, running the ripper, all kinds of stuff. So appreciate you guys watching, and